mission trip. We went in March, so it's been a little bit, but just trying to find time to be able to go over it. But I just want to share with everybody the things that we did down there, and just give them just a view of what it's like down in Guyana and the good work that's going on. So let me see here. I am not a professional at any of this, so you have to bear with me. What was this? It should be on. It says right there. And then, oops, I'm going back maybe. All right. Got to push the right way. Okay, so just kind of over here, it's kind of a cool map. Oh, like I said. All right, over here, it's a cool map of like where we started to where we went. It is a long distance. It is a lot of travel. So first day, Chris Bartlett, my daughter, Bridget, and we started, probably it was like 4 in the morning, I think, to get to the airport and then catch our flight from there. We went to Dallas and then caught another flight to Miami. And once we got into Miami, we met up with all the other people that were traveling from there to Georgetown. Some people were already in Guyana, but just the rest of the group we met in Miami. So this isn't the plane we traveled on to go to Miami, but this is, I didn't have any pictures of the airport or that time there, but this is a plane that we flew on when we were in Guyana. So we had 3 days of travel basically to our first clinic. There were the flights from there to Dallas, like I said, and then to Miami, and then we went to Georgetown, which is in Guyana, and then from there we spent the night. And then we had to take the plane flight, like I said, that was this plane here, down to Lethem, which is in the southern end of Guyana. I think I have a map up somewhere down here, right here. Okay, so Georgetown right here is in the northern end of Guyana, and then we spent the night there. So from, like I said, 4 in the morning, the one day, we got into Georgetown probably around 11, maybe 12, and then took a bus trip to where we're staying for the night, and then slept, and then had to get up early that next morning to take a flight down to Lethem here, which is on the southern end and borders Brazil. From there, we were able to, and that took most of the day, and then we stayed in the hotel there in Lethem. And then there's a village that's right around here that's called Moko Moko. That is where we went and to set up clinic the next day and see people. So we may come back to this map because I'll be talking about a lot of different things, so I want you to know kind of where we're at. So this is our team. I'll kind of go over all the people and their jobs, and this is like, I think, one of the biggest groups we've had of people down there. Yeah, it made everything a lot easier having more people, but it's definitely a challenge to accommodate getting everyone down there, because that one plane that I showed you, we basically took that whole plane for everyone flying down to Lethem. So this is Mark. Most of you know Mark. He used to be our preacher here, and he went down to Florida for some family things, and he lives down there now and preaches down at a Church of Christ down there. But he started this whole medical mission. He actually has a Bible school down there that he teaches some of the people down there to become preachers and start churches and spread the word down there in Guyana. And they've started, I don't know how many exact churches they've started so far, but it's definitely spreading, and it's amazing to see how much it's grown. Was it 2017? Is that when the medical mission started? Okay, so I think it's 2017 was when he started doing the medical missions, and that just stemmed from a lady that was having seizures, and they came back and he was talking about it, and a doctor heard that what she was going through, and he said, "I can fix that." And so he basically got with Mark, and they went down. I think it was just him and Mark that went down and brought the medication, and they saw the need at that time, and that's when it kind of all started. So here, till we're at today. And he has definitely a huge passion and love for the people in Guyana. He always says that he left, or his heart's down there in Guyana, and he always goes back to visit it sometimes. And this is my daughter. Yeah. That is my daughter, Bridget. She probably said, "I can lift you," and he didn't believe her. And so also just going along with Mark, this is Angie Sundry. She, right here and here, she is a very crucial, integral part to the mission as well. She does all the just scheduling and different maintenance, getting all the medications down there, and making sure that everything we need is there and accounted for. She goes down with Mark sometimes when he goes down for his Bible school, and makes sure the medications are there that we need, and all supplies are accounted for. And just, it's amazing. None of this could happen without her. Also, this is, oh, I did it again. This is Sunil, and this is his son, Miles. He is the one that drives us around. He is another integral part of our team. He helps with getting a lot of the supplies around to where they need to be beforehand, and also deals with us, driving us around and making sure we're getting everywhere on time. Because we're sometimes not an easy group to gather and get to where we need to be. And these are the two doctors that we had down there. This is Kim, and this is Haley. Kim, I think this is her third mission with us. Usually we have, I think, 3 doctors go down with us, but this time we only had the availability to have 2. So they both did an amazing job dealing with the amount of patients that we had. And we had 3 days of clinic. There was 295 people that we saw. And so Kim is, this is Kim right here. And she is like a mom to all of us. She's making sure that we're getting water, making sure that, everybody's feeling okay, really checking in on everybody. And then if you go and ask her about it, if she needs anything, she never says she needs anything. She's got that, I don't need any help attitude, but she helps everyone else. But we make sure she's okay and gets what she needs as well. And then Haley, she was sick for the first day of clinic and powered through it, and because otherwise we would have been down to 1 doctor. but it is amazing to see them work. Usually they're just seeing patients constantly and they don't take a lot of breaks, and they do an amazing job and care so much for the people. And these are our nurses. So this is Michaela. This is her second trip. She came down the last trip with her parents, and so her dad was one of the doctors that we had the last time. They weren't able to come with us this time, and she ventured by herself, and that was a big thing, and I think that she did an amazing job. And this is Pauline. This was her first trip. She is from Jamaica, and she goes to the church in Florida, as well as Michaela. And it was a really good experience for her. She felt more at home with the people there in Guyana because they just speak a lot softer. We are a lot louder. When they're talking to me, I'm always having to really get really close to make sure I can hear everything they're saying to me. And then I'm sure they feel like I'm yelling at them when I'm talking to them. But she said she loved the way that they were talking softly, and she said this is much more, feels like home. And here's Angie again. She is one of our nurses as well. And this is Michelle. Michelle and Mark have been friends, I guess, since he was small. And so they've known each other for a long time. And so when he started this mission, getting her to come along is one of the things he wanted to do. She's come probably 4 or 5 times, or she's only missed 1 trip. Yeah, so probably 6. I think she missed 1 trip. And that was probably the last year, not this year, but last year. And so this is a great group of nurses. They have people check in, and then once they check in, they'll come see the nurses, and they'll take all their vitals, ask them all the questions, and then they'll write down everything that they need possibly to look at for the doctors, and then they'll send them to the doctors, and they do a great job just screening everybody and getting all the information they need. From there, they go into where Bridget and I and Chris work, into the pharmacy. So if they're needing any medication, the doctor would write a prescription for us, and then we would be able to fill it. I'll try to go over all the people here. Oh, and I did it again. All right, it's going to be a common thing. So this is Caitlin. This was her first trip here. I'll get another photo. Oh, here she is here too. She was an actual pharmacist, so it was really beneficial having her there this year. She came very well prepared with lots of labels and knowing a lot more about all the different medications. And so it really helped us out, made the pharmacy flow much better than it kind of has in the past, just because the pharmacy is definitely a place where things kind of slow down when you're trying to fill so many pills and do different things. It just takes a little bit more time, and she just made it flow a lot faster and easier, just with her knowledge and preparation. And in between, anytime when we weren't filling stuff, she was trying to pre-package and do everything. My thing to her was just making sure that she was delegating because she would start doing everything herself, and I'm like, you look like you're really busy. You need to pass off some of that work. So we got a lot of people here. This is Luke. He is a firefighter in Florida, and this is his son, Lucas. That's their second trip. They went last year and this year. And so it was really helpful. They already knew how to, what to do in the pharmacy. Luke and I work really well together, kind of just being firefighters, kind of know, I guess, how each other thinks. And so it works well. Bridget here, my daughter, worked in the pharmacy with us, but she also, since there was a few times we had quite a few people, she would kind of float around and go to the check-in area sometimes and entertain the kids, or she would help us out where we needed, and she was just super helpful in all the areas. And then this is Chris, and I'm sure I have a better picture, but it's sometimes difficult when you're looking for specific pictures of people. You can't find them. And so Chris has been doing this. I mean, he's been on every trip. And so definitely beneficial having him there for all the medical stuff as well, just because he's been doing it for so long. It just makes everything easier. And if you guys have any questions or anything, go ahead and just raise your hand. We got a microphone in the back and I can answer. So. This is the benevolence area. We would have, they have the glasses there. They had like kind of they're just reader glasses, and they had some sunglasses. That was a big thing that we have been asked for in the past, and that we got a lot of this year. There was coloring books, and we also get like toiletries, soaps, shampoos, toothbrushes, toothpaste, a lot of things that they would like to have, but usually they don't want to spend their money on that. They spend it on other things just because the other things are more important. And so just being able to give them some of those niceties is, they really, really enjoy and appreciate it. So we have Audrey, and her brother Sterling. This is Audrey's second year coming, and Sterling, her brother is his first year. I think she was a physical therapist. And so her and Caitlin here are physical therapists, and they had braces that they could give people that had any kind of injury or that they were dealing with. They could talk to them about stretches and different things that they can do to strengthen some injuries. A lot of people have where they've had a motorcycle crash or some sort of injury while working, and they just kind of deal with it and go through the pain and don't really have time to address it. And so giving them something that they can do to help them get better from that injury is very beneficial. So it was really nice when we had the people that had those kind of injuries to have them come and talk to them and show them the ways that they can improve and get better.
Is this microphone on?
It doesn't sound like it.
Can you turn the... There you go.
There it is.
I was just wondering, you mentioned the lady, the pharmacist came well prepared. You mentioned the doctor that said I could fix that. I'm just wondering, what are the most types of illnesses and the medications that you deal with, mostly in Guyana?
A lot of it is, I mean, I would say pain. And we deal with a lot of like ibuprofen and different stuff, but like the motorcycle crashes and that. But it's interesting too that we've found with each different village is that a lot of them will have the same type of ailment. It could be that they have like diabetes, going kind of through one area, and you're giving a lot of that type of medication to those people, or they have something else that's kind of going on, and we'll start using it. And yeah, the Chris was reminding me that the worms medication, it's something that we give to everybody there because pretty much almost everyone has that from eating food or getting it from their family, and the cleanliness, not washing your hands. And so that's one thing we just give out to everybody. So that would be the number one, I guess. But besides that, the other.
Good, thank you.
This is some of you may know David. This is Mark's son. It was his first year being able to come. It was very cool to see. I know he had heard a lot of stories through Mark about all the different people that are down there, and it was great to see Mark. His face was beaming every time he would run into somebody that he knew, and he was introducing his son David to him. And it was just cool to watch. And David would be like, "Oh, I've heard so many stories about you from my dad." And so it was good for him to be able to meet all the people. I think he had a really great time. He was another person that was running around doing a lot of the things in between. He talked about making sure everybody's water bottle is filled. Hydration is a huge thing down there. For us, we're not used to the kind of heat that's there. So you'll find yourself working and working and working. And if you don't keep up on the hydration, you can find yourself being a patient. So yeah, David was very, very much on top of that. And it was good to see. Let's see. And this is Caroline. She was our person that would check people in. And so everybody, when they come, there's usually a big area, like a knob or a kind of grass roof, covered area that everybody waits. That's what they're sitting under right now. And she would gather all the information from the people and be able to check how many people we had seen. But she was also able to do, I don't know exactly what kind of medical training she has, but she was able to do a lot of the pre-screening stuff and ask a lot of the questions before they even got to the nurses. So that was really helpful as well, because we've had some people before that didn't have any medical training, and they were great and amazing at checking people in, but that was just a helpful piece for us. And this right here in the middle of the two Caitlyns is Alita, and she is from Guyana and learning medical training. And so she came along with us to kind of be with the doctors, be with the nurses, learn a lot more of the medical processes and gain more knowledge. And so it was great to have her with us learning, and she is just super quiet. So we had to kind of try to get her out of her shell a little bit more and get her to say, it's okay to talk to us. It's okay to interact with us. And so, like I say, very reserved, very, very quiet. But towards the end, she was definitely joking a lot more with us and talking to us. And she said she was greatly appreciative of the time that she got to spend with us and the knowledge she got to learn. And like we kind of already went over before, I kind of had the two photos, because this one on the right had a little bit more than this one, but this one had bigger lettering, so it's easier to see. Oh, So we traveled from Georgetown to Lethem. We spent the night there, and then we went to Moco Moco for the 1 day of clinic. I kind of just go over the whole time we had there. We went back to Lethem after that day and stayed the night, and then we took it's probably about 3 hours or so more to Anai, and we picked up Alita on the way to Anai, and stayed in a place there, the Rockview Lodge, and we had 2 days of clinic in Anai. And then from there, we traveled to a place that we had 1 day of rest, and then back to Georgetown, and then back home. So like I said, it's a lot of travel, 3 days worth of clinic. And we would love to have more time down there, but we're usually bound by the doctors and how much time they're able to take off and spend down there, which is usually a week. And so we get the weekends plus the week, and that kind of makes it to where how much time we can spend. So this is Moco Moco, the church they have there. And this was Monday morning. Like I say, we traveled Saturday, flew down on Sunday to Lethem, and then spent the night there, and then this was Monday morning. So you've seen a few of these pictures already, but this is the clinic down there. And I don't know if I have, yeah, there we go. So these are the two vans that we traveled in most of the time. This one right here is Mark's truck. He keeps it down there, and that usually hauls all of our stuff, and as well as in the backs of these two vans, which those vehicles are always amazing to me because the roads are not gentle on those cars, and they drive them everywhere. And if it's rained, there's tons of potholes and everything throughout the road, and yeah. So, and you can see where they've had really bad roads, and they've had to make a new road where they go around that area, and they do amazing driving us around. So this is Moco Moco. They have a really big, wide open area for us to set up. People would come in the door here, and along here we had the nurse station, and that's where they would see the nurses, and then they would go to the doctors that were back here, and then they would come up to here for the pharmacy and kind of sit along a bench here, and then they would go to benevolence and out. We've done it a couple of times there, and so we kind of know the system. We also have set up back here in case we have to do any more some surgeries or inspect a wound. We have a nice area where they're able to have some privacy. The things I've noticed about this village is I think that they've gotten a lot more, I don't know how to put it, but they seem like they're getting more advanced and better, and a little bit more care. And so we were able to provide a lot of care for them, but it does seem like it is getting better, which I like to see.
Jeff,
Yeah.
speaking of the care, so were you guys the only medical facility, or do they have a government or local nurses, physician clinic nearby?
They don't have really so in one of the villages, they've built a medical clinic, but they just don't have the training. So they have some kind of places they can go to. The closest place with training and doctors and nurses is Brazil, usually, right? Or
usually have
Hold on.
I was like, I need Chris to have a mic here because he's more
So-
knowledgeable than me.
the picture he had earlier with the young lady between the two nurses, she is the local village nurse or medical person. I would say their equivalent training is a little short of an EMT1. But they take care of a lot of the stuff that we would see, she would see, but she usually doesn't have the proper meds and things to treat them. So she has to do like a triage and then probably send them off to Georgetown. Every village has something similar, or they have one that's kind of in a middle for 2 or 3, but it's only one person. So she's getting a lot of medical assistance and knowledge in how to better treat things that she sees. And we were able to provide her with some of our extras to leave with her so she could continue to treat the patients that she saw. Mark likes to tell us that our nurses, our registered nurses, have more medical training than their physicians. So level of care is really low in country.
So you're also doing a training ministry, medical training as well as physical and spiritual.
Yep. And they did have that medical facility that they built for them. Where was that, in Katoka? Yeah. And that was where we went, not this year, but last year. And that was a really nice facility that they built for them. They just need more training, and they have, the government is really trying to help and support, I think, in that area to give them more of what they need, but it's just not quite there yet. This was the Rockview Lodge from Lethem, or Katoka, or not Katoka, Mokomoko. We went back to Lethem, and then it was a 3.5-hour car drive to here. This is right next to Anai. This is the Rockview Lodge. We've stayed here multiple times. It's a very beautiful place. The guy that runs the place is, what? Yeah, he's like a British expatriate, and his name's Colin. And he actually this year started hearing him talk about wanting to learn more spiritually. He hasn't really been a spiritual person. He's, enjoyed us coming there, enjoyed us giving the people medical attention, but he's actually displaying some interest in spiritual things. And so it was really great to hear him talk with some of the people there and be interested in that. So it was, praise God for that, and hope that continues. And these are some of the kids that were running around. It's Colin's family is there, and there's a lot of the workers that work there bring some of their children as well, and they're usually running around fighting with sticks and messing with the cats. There were some kittens that they were treating very rough, and everybody was trying to like not go, oh. But this is the church in Anai, the Quatamong. This was the place that we had the 2 days worth of clinic. It is a much tighter area, smaller, and so everything ran very smooth. Though we kind of had a very good setup, and we got to this was something that I was able to do there with Kim. Was there's a girl that had gotten stitches in her head but had not been able to go back and get them removed, and so it was in there for quite a while, and so we were able to get those taken out for her. This is one of the great things that we're able to do after, even on some nights when we don't do clinics, but we're there. The church and Mark and us will get together, and we will have devotions at night. And usually one of the people from Guyana will speak, and then Mark will speak as well. And we sing hymns, and it's amazing just to hear them sing. They sing much different. It's more like a tribal song. And I think you guys have heard some of that in the past. I wasn't able to get any videos of it, but it's beautiful to be able to sing with them. And also just to see people around the world, all praising God, and how there's just more than us. Sometimes you feel like it's just you, but when you hear that and you hear when you're with everybody, it's just amazing to hear that song and everybody singing together. It's just so uplifting. We tried to see the night sky because there's not really a lot of lights out there, so it's really beautiful to look at the stars. But this is that area where they would come in before they got seen in the clinic, and then that's where we had outdoors. We had our devotionals because all of our stuff was still in the church building, which it's much better out there anyways because it's cooler. But the lights do bring the bugs.
Yeah.
This was our last night there when we were having a devotional, and somebody brought out a bunch of stickers, and the kids thought it was hilarious to start sticking them all over, and so everybody, I think, started getting stickers all over them, and they were all over people's backs and everything. It was a fun time. Everybody was just playing and having a good time. This was another thing that was really cool was they had a Polaroid camera, and somebody had donated a lot of film, and so they had tons of photos to take, and so the kids would enjoy having their photo taken and then being able to get a photo that they got to keep of themselves, which was really cool. So David really took that on because there was so much film to use. He started taking tons of photos, and then they really clamored around him. A lot of the food down there, we eat a lot of chicken and rice, but at the Rockview Lodge, they do serve a lot of interesting things that you wouldn't normally get, and it's amazing to taste and see a lot of the food that's down there. But a lot of rice, a lot of chicken. This cheese right here is amazing. I don't know where they get it from, but it's amazing. And if you ever have the chance to go down there and get a bake, it's just like fried bread, almost like a pastry, but it is amazing too. A lot of the plants, it's just beautiful. It's like the rainforest area. So they have savanna, and then they have the rainforest area. So there's tons of just beautiful plants. Tons of animals, a lot of them you shouldn't touch. Even the cats and the dogs, just because you don't know what they might have. And I had to get this photo in there because Bridget will find a horse anywhere in the world. Yep, there's another one. Yeah, definitely two there. We had a relaxed day after our day, or our couple days there in Anai. We went out to this canopy walk, and we're able to go and see over the top of the rainforest there. It wasn't reassuring when they started talking about that we were only able to have so many people on one platform, but, and that one part of the rainforest platform was down because it had broken, so, but we were able to go out and see some kind of hieroglyphic type stuff that they had done. We went out at night too, and they had like a caiman find or animal find at night in the dark, which we went out during the day and we were driving up this river and there was tons of stuff in the river, like rocks and all sorts of things. And then we went out at night and they turned out all the lights and they just had flashlights going. And I'm like, how are we not going to hit any rocks out here or anything? So it was a little unnerving. Plus, you know, you're in a river with a ton of caiman in it. So, but it was very cool to go out at night. And these guys are amazing at spotting things. It was like they would be flashing the flashlight all over and they're like, there's something. And you'd go over there and it's like this teeny little snake in a tree. And you're like, how did you see that? But that's kind of everything. It's, I guess, time now if anybody had any questions before we're finished.
I have the microphone. Questions?
No? All right.
Thank you, Jeff.
Yeah.